Hello and welcome to Patti Knits and Spins. I am your host, Patti. You can find me on Ravelry as Pattisand. I have a group, Patti Knits and Spins Podcast. If you'd like to, you can follow me on Instagram. I am Pattisand631 there. Today is January 27th, 2015. This is episode 53, Confessions of a Bad Podcaster. On today's show, I will be talking to you about my week. I will be talking to you about my works in progress, a finished object. I have a needle adjacent project. I have some spinning, stash enhancement, and whatever else crosses my mind. Sit back, relax, grab your beverage of choice, water, your craft of choice, and let's chat. I have to say that I will be explaining to you why I didn't podcast this weekend during my section of Confessions of a Bad Podcaster. This week has been very interesting, to say the least. We finally had a cold snap. Sunday it was 42 below at night. When I went to bed it was 36 below on Sunday night. Today is 29 below. It's supposed to be warming back up Saturday to, and 6 below, further low. The week went uneventful. It was really a good week. Went out and did some stuff, had a good time. Saturday morning at 8 o'clock I woke up, and it was a little cold in the house, but I didn't think about it. And I was tired because I'm not sleeping again. Some reason, I go to bed at 2 o'clock in the morning and wake up at 9:30. So I'm really trying to get that fixed, but it's really, really hard for me because I like the quiet time between like 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night. So then it rolls into 1 and 2 and sometimes 3. I've even stayed up until 7 o'clock in the morning and then woke up at 9:30. Those are the really hard days. But anyway, I woke up at 8 o'clock. It's a little cold in here, but the fan was going because we always have a fan going in our room. So I thought, well, maybe it's just the fan. Could be just the fan, right? Didn't think anything of it. Went back to sleep. At 9:30 when I woke up, I went, no, it's cold in here. I got up, went to my thermostat, and it said 60. It usually says 70, 72, because you have to have it a little bit warmer than that too, because this house was built in 1964. It went through the flood. So you gotta baby it a little bit because it also has bad windows. And yes, you have to have that up a little bit warmer than what you think. And I knew we couldn't be out of fuel. At least I hoped, it's like, come on, I just ordered fuel. I'm getting it Monday. Monday, people. And it's Saturday. So I called my husband and said, I think you misread when you dipped the tank. I think we're out of fuel. You need to come and put some fuel in and turn the boiler back on. He came home and he dipped the tank and no, there's still 100 gallons in there. And great. I said, well, the furnace isn't running. So he went down, held the button, didn't come on. It tried to come on. It makes all these wonderful noises and then it just stops. So he called time and a half, people. Time and a half for these people to come out. But they're the guys that always come out. They just serviced our boiler in August. August? No, September. They just serviced it. No, it was August. In August. So, yeah. They just serviced it. So, it's not dirty or anything. That was fine. Well, it took him an hour to get there. The house is cold. Because it's, it's like 10 below out. It's starting that downward slope to the cold snap. And he got there, and lo and behold, the fuel pump had died. So, like I said, 2 hours, time and a half, plus the expensive fuel pump. That was a very expensive weekend, especially when we were planning on it. That's what savings are for, though. Savings saved our bottom. So anyway, furnace is up and running. We got our fuel. The fuel is finally going lower. We've almost paid $1 less than the last time we filled up. But it's still pretty high. It's ridiculous. But I forgot to turn the furnace off when they come to fill. Usually we go down and pop the furnace off so that when they fill, everything will settle and then it won't turn the furnace back off. Well, I was sitting there after they left, and about half an hour later, shoot, it's cold in here again. It was 68 degrees, and because you could tell the difference as it starts to cool down, you know, it gets kind of, your nose gets kind of cold. I pushed this restart button again, it started right up, and it hasn't stopped since. Knock on wood, knock on wood. So that has been my wonderful boiler story. But anyway, and we're not the only one who had problems. Someone that my husband knew needed help. They had run out of fuel oil last night, and we always have a couple of jerry cans full of fuel sitting here in case we need it. And there was actually 10 gallons here at the house, so he went with a couple other ones and put some fuel oil in their tank, or diesel, since it can run off diesel also. Put some diesel fuel in, and they're getting a delivery today. So, you know, we got so used to not having this cold weather that everybody's kind of forgotten to fill up their tank, I guess. But anyway, they should have gotten their fuel today, so they have no problem whatsoever. Sorry, wow. But I guess now we can talk about the knitting. This is going to be the section, Confessions of a Bad Podcaster. If you recall, I was going to start the knit-along, The Curls by Hunter Hammerson, and I was going to do the Sagacious, and I did start it. I did quite a bit of it. And that yarn, again, said, no, I don't want to be that pattern. Please, Patty, please. So I have to admit I was a little embarrassed to come back here on the podcast and say I did it again. I still could not find the pattern for that yarn. So I have set this aside. Because the other reason I'm really embarrassed is I got in touch with Hunter Hammerson and said, hey, my group is doing this, or I'm going to be going through your book on my podcast. And she's like, oh, cool, because Violently Domestic right now is doing it on her group. So if you want to follow along with the curls, you can go over to the Violently Domestic. Let me look at that. I think it's Violently Domestic group is doing it also. Now let me double check that. Come on. Yeah, Violently Domestic Knitters is doing a curls knit along, so she's going to be doing the whole book. And she has when she's going to, each one needs to be done by. So go check that out if you want to do that with her. Let me go back here. Come on. One more time. Oops. There we go. So I went fine. Fine. I tore it all out. I have to pick another yarn, and I will work on that in the next week or so. I will try that again. I do like the pattern. It looked really good. I may tweak one thing in there, but for the most part, I really liked it. But the yarn did not want to be that. It wants to be Wild Ride. It is a taste of lace and drop stitches. Lila and Claudine's shop. There it is. So it wants to be this. And you know how I know it wants to be this, people? Do you? Look at this. This is the first time I have gotten this far with any pattern of this yarn. I am over halfway done with this ball of yarn. So this is Socks That Rock Sheep to Shoe Kit in the Bejeweled colorway. I am knitting it on a size 7, 4.5 millimeter. I am now on the drop stitches portion of the shawl. It wants to be this. It flew. I think I started this maybe Wednesday, maybe, of last week. It's flown. I love how it's striping. I think that is so cool looking. And I think it's about that color right there. And I'm just so happy. But like I said, I was so embarrassed to come back here again and say, I can't believe it. I did it again with all these great intentions of doing something beautiful with this yarn. And I even bragged and said, hey, it wants to be this. Oh, no, it didn't. It wants to be a wild ride. So, confessions of a bad podcaster. At least I fessed up, right? I fessed up. You would have known something when you didn't see it anyway. But this is in my... Is this a bird leg or is this... bird leg. This is a bird leg bag. TARDIS. Yay. Alrighty. So the next thing I have on the needles is the Voyager hat by Tina Shaddox, Shaddox. I am knitting this on the sand. This is Cascade 220 sand color, the 9499 on a size 9 US, 5.5 millimeter. And it's a little bit darker than that, not too much though. I have all my mods are listed because he liked it different mod, and he did like the mods that I had done the last time. So I'm making this hat, and then I'm taking the two colors, the brown and the tan, putting them together and making him a striped one, so he'll have 3. This is a Girl Cave bag with the zebras. So cool. I love it. Another drink. And the third thing on the needles, and I just started it. This is a Good Ale by Cecily Glauc McDonald. I think it is really cute, and I'd like to have a kind of a summer looking top like that. It would be really, really nice. It's living in my Fat Squirrel bag. I am knitting it with Rowan Felted Tweed. Not pretty. Love those purple. And I just started it. I was doing the 41 1/4. And I'm not a 41, I'm a 38. The high bust measurement, I'm a 38. So I went ahead and tore that out, and I started again. This is on a size 7, 4.5 millimeter. And you see, I just have the cast on, and then the setup row is about all I have done. Because that wild ride just took me for a wild ride. It's been a lot of fun to knit. So those are what's on the needles this week. I finished the hubby's socks the day before his birthday. So I handed him his socks. He smiled. He took his socks that he was wearing off, put those on, and those are his when he needs to have warm feet socks. Didn't even let me wash them. I haven't washed them. They're full of little fuzzies on them from walking around on the carpet. So I can't show you those socks, but he was very happy with them. He did wear them in his shoes one night when we took him out to dinner for his birthday, because it was that Saturday night. It was cold. So he was nice and warm. So that was great. He liked them a lot, and he wants me to make him another pair, and I said, no. I don't like knitting worsted weight socks. I think that might have been that was like an errand to bulky weight, and I was doing them on a size 5 US, and that was just too tight. It hurt my hands. I would have to put them down and start again. So if I ever do another worsted weight sock, I'm going to get a true worsted weight. And yeah, that's all I have for finished objects. My needle adjacent project, I am doing a test knit for Laura Linneman. She is doing the afterthought heel. She's tweaked it a little bit, and I like doing afterthought heels too. They're fun, even though Fish Lips Kiss heel is my go-to now. But if this one works, I'll be really happy. She wants it done by the end of February, and she said I could show it on the podcast. I haven't started it yet. I'm going to be starting it tonight. But I thought I would do the Neon Now. Woo! Look at that pink. Because it's like a semi-stripey. So this is 75 wool, 25 nylon, approximately 436 yards. And I have a Addy Sock Rocket 2.5 millimeter. I can't recall if I think she said to do it on a 2.5, which is 1.5, I think. I'll have to double check that. And if I get to gauge, that's what I'll do it on. So I will be starting that tonight. Yay! And it's living in my Silver Shed USA monster bag. Love it. I love it. So that is all for the knitting. I think I'm going to jump to purchases. I have 2 purchases that are both mysteries. So if you are in the let's see. I went ahead and got out of the Into the World Club because I have so much Into the World right now that I thought I would try somebody different. So I went ahead and jumped onto the Three Waters Farm. So I have the January club. So if you don't want to see it or hear about it, fast forward it for a little bit and come back. So, are you gone? Okay. This is merino, 80% merino, 20% Tessa silk in the Sweet Pea colorway. And this is the top of the month. And here it is. Isn't that beautiful? Look at those colors. Oh, they are just fabulous. Now, I'm looking at that, and the green is not that bright. It's a little bit darker. And let's see. There's the blue right there. That's blue. That's a blue. That might... Now, see, it's showing green on the screen, but that's really a blue. And that's a blue. That's blue even though it's showing up green. So it's almost like this blue, this green color is actually that green. Oh, well, no, that's not that dark. It's not that bright. It's a little bit darker than that. But anyway, it is beautiful stuff. I was not expecting to get the January. I thought I had missed the January. I thought I was just going to get the February. But there's the January. Oh, so beautiful. And then the next one I caught was from the Blue Mountain Handcrafts. And they're doing a Sweetheart Spin-Along. And it starts February 9th, I believe. Or the shipping was February 9th. I'll look and I'll put it in the show notes. I chose Sweetheart number 5. So if you don't want to see what Sweetheart number 5 looked like, it's time to look away. So I will bring this close. I picked this picture. Let's see. Can you see them? The 2 birds in the heart. I just really liked that. I liked that one, and I liked the blue one too. Thought the blue one was really pretty. But I went ahead and chose the birds. So here is the add-ons. And what this says is it's superwash, merino top, Firestar, nylon, bamboo, and Angelina. So here is a baggie of add-ons. You guys see that? I hope so. There's like purples and all sorts of colors. I just got this all today, so I wanted to show you guys. And it says there's an ounce in here of add-ons. So Oh. So let's see here. Here we go. Ooh, look at that. That copper is that same stuff that looks like I have. And then, look at that. This must be the nylon. Or the Fire Star. Maybe that's the Fire Star. Yeah, this is probably the nylon. Not pretty. So pretty. If I don't add these to that spin, I can see putting those over for my blending board. That would be fun. And then you've got the colors. Oh, they're gorgeous. Look at this. There's this one. That pretty. That little pop of kind of an orange. It's really pretty. And then there is a bright orange. Beautiful. Look at that. It's just so pretty. Look at that big pop of red there. Isn't that pretty? And then we've got like brown. Yeah, brown. That's beautiful too. So I can see either spinning, spinning, doing a 3-ply. Wouldn't that be beautiful? Do a 3-ply with these colors. Yeah. And then as you're applying them together, maybe adding the add-ons. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how I'm going to play with this yet. But it's beautiful stuff. Nice and soft. Yeah. So the I have not had fiber from either one of these companies before, so I'm really excited to play with them and see how things turn out. And I'm very happy with those purchases. So that was the Blue Mountain Handcrafts, the Sweetheart Spin-Along, and then the January Three Waters Farm. Very pretty, and I will definitely stay with this. I got the single, so it's $26.95, I believe a month. That's not too bad. That includes shipping. And spinning. Since fiber, now we're on to spinning. I finished the Malabrigo Nube in the Archangel colorway. I have 312 yards of a 2-ply pure merino wool. And if you recall, if you've been with me before, and if you have, thank you very much for coming back. And if you're new, thanks for checking me out. I always mean to say that and I always forget. I put this on the blending board to help kind of thin it out a little bit, make it a little bit nicer to spin. I blended 1 2-ounce twice and 1 2-ounce once. So one has more of the color. Let's see. See how that one isn't purplish. The one I blended twice leans more on the purple side, and the other one has the pops of the other colors that were actually in the braid. So, you can really see it. And I'm still thick and thin. I'm not really consistent, but I'm really happy with the spin. This is the first true spin on the Hansen, and I think it turned out fabulous. See, there's a big old puff right there. And some of it did puff out. You can see I got some slubs. But that's okay. It's hand spun. It's not supposed to be perfect. At least that's how I think about it. I'm not into making perfect, consistent yarn. I am into having fun. And to me, hand spun should look fun. And when you knit it, it knits just fine. At least that's my noticing so far, that hand spun, thick and thin, poofy. I'm not overly thick and thin. I don't try to do the thick and thin spots, but you know, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, good. So I'm very happy with this spin. Not sure what it's going to be. It is nice and soft, even with the copper color in there. It's nice and soft. So I'm very happy with that. and I started a new spin. I was going to get a dime to show you how thin this was, but I forgot. This is a loop bullseye. This isn't, well, I guess it is. It's a repeating one. I'll show you here in just a second. And that's how thin it's coming out. And it's got sparkles. You can kind of see them. Sparkle. So it is spinning up fairly consistent for me, so I'm really happy with that. This is a repeating one. So as you see, it started with the blue right there, and then the purple, the red, like a yellow, and I'm not sure what that is. That's a deep, like a deeper burgundy, and then kind of greens and that. So it'll go through that colorway twice. I can see these as very pretty socks, and I think that's what she's designed this one to be, is self stripes and smaller. Instead of a gradient, it's self stripes. So I've been working on that. Started that this last week. Oh, I'm very, very, very happy with that. Not this week, last week, I'm sorry. So that's my spinning. It's time for the Alaska Fun Fact. Pull this back on my Kindle. Oh, I am wearing, you guys can't really see it, the Heliopath Vest by Emma Welford. I finished this last April. And I've worn it a couple of times, and I thought, what the heck, I'll wear it again. I really like it because it's asymmetrical. The cables are really cute. This is out of Cascade Lana d'Oro, which is, what is Lana d'Oro? It's 50 wool, 50 alpaca. And in the purple. I just have it as the purple colorway. So, I like it a lot. I still have some left, so I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with it yet, but I have some of this left, and it's in worsted weight, and I knit it on a 7. I liked it. I think it turned out really cute. Okay, the question this week is from Patron Knits. Let's see what his first name is. He doesn't have his first name, but he's from Arizona. So let's go back. Do the caribou really migrate through Fairbanks? I looked that up because, you know what? I've never seen a caribou. I've seen moose, I've seen bears, I've seen porcupines and rabbits and foxes and lynx. Let's see what else. I've seen, you know, squirrels, voles, mice, you know, bugs. Cockroach. There's not supposed to be cockroaches in Alaska, but there are. But I've never seen a caribou. I've seen doll sheep, and I've seen seals. Yeah, but I've never seen a caribou. This picture, oh, come on now. Come on now. Come on. Well, hold on. Let me turn the overhead light off. Maybe that'll help. Oops, sorry. Earthquake. I'm really sorry. Did that help any? Of course not. Shoot. I had all these grand plans. This map on adfg.alaska.gov, if you type in caribou, it'll show you. There is 32 herds of caribou in the state of Alaska. And in the middle, where Fairbanks is, there's none. There isn't very many spots where there's not caribou. That's one of the spots. There's no caribou whatsoever. But yeah, you can kind of, when you show that, right there is where Fairbanks is. So you can see where the colors are. That's where the other caribou herds are at. So I have never seen a caribou herd go through Fairbanks. I've never heard of the caribou migrating through Fairbanks. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't think so. I really don't. Yeah, darn, I was really wishing that would show up because it's a really good interpretation of that. But I will tell you that, let's see, what does it say? The caribou in the northern and the southwestern Alaska are generally smaller than the other caribou in the interior and in the southern parts of the state. So, let's see here. Oh, adult bulls weigh 350 to 400 pounds, which is 159 to 182 kilos. Females average 175 to 225 pounds, which is 80 to 120 kilos. And the newborn calves weigh 13 pounds or 6 kilos. So that's pretty cool. It says that the Alaska caribou prefer treeless tundra and mountains during all seasons, but many herds winter in the boreal forest in Tonga. It's Taiga. Calving areas usually are located in the mountains on an open coastal tundra. We have a lot of tundra permafrost in the Fairbanks area, but it's not very hilly. I mean, we have hills, but not a lot. Yeah. It says, but migration routes used for many years may suddenly be abandoned in favor of movements to new areas with more food. Changing movements can create problems for the native people in Alaska and Canada who depend on the caribou for food. Caribou movements are probably triggered by changing weather conditions, such as onset of cold weather or snowstorms. Once they decide to migrate, caribou can travel up to 50 miles a day. Caribou apparently have a built-in compass, like migratory birds, and can travel through areas that are unfamiliar to them to reach their calving grounds. Very interesting, just like fish. They should have said fish, too, because fish do the same thing. Salmon always go back upstream to their spawning areas. It's very interesting. I did not know that about them. So I hope that that answered your question. And I have enjoyed all of the wonderful questions, so keep them coming because I will answer them as I get to them. Yeah, so there will not be a podcast this weekend, obviously, since it's Tuesday, and I don't think I'm going to get a lot done. I might get some done, so it might be Monday next week before I get to a podcast. So I hope you guys understand how I felt about the curls. I will get back onto that. I'm just shaking my head because I feel really bad about that. Please come and join me with the curls. I don't want to do it by myself, but if I do, that's okay too. I think that's all I have for you. I hope you guys have a great week. I hope it warms up for me because it's not fun going out in the cold. I don't like it. I don't like the cold. Give me the snow. I can deal with snow. Yeah, it's not fun. It's not fun when you have to worry about your fuel, and it's not fun when you have to worry about your pipes. But I'm sorry. Soapbox. Anyway, I hope that everybody has a great week, and I will see you next week. Keep those needles flying and those wheels a-spinning. And whatever you craft, I hope you craft it to your heart's content. Bye, guys.